Hello, moviegoers, and welcome to another episode of CritiCarter, the show where I turn you into a cinephile. Tonight I went to the midnight screening of the new film Drive, directed by Nicolas Winding Refn, written by Hossein Amini, and starring Ryan Gosling, Carey Mulligan, Albert Brooks, Bryan Cranston, and Ron Perlman. In this film, Ryan Gosling plays a stunt driver for the movies who moonlights as the ultimate getaway driver. Unfortunately, he runs afoul of the wrong people. As of this moment, this is the best reviewed film that got a wide release on Rotten Tomatoes so far this year. To my knowledge, I could be forgetting something. And there's completely a justifiable reason for that. Don't watch the trailer and write this off as Transporter 4, which, unfortunately, a lot of the people I had the good fortune to see this with obviously did. This is not your typical over-the-top, ridiculous action film where, Ryan Gosling's running around, cars are blowing up left and right, that kind of thing. He got a great script based off a book with some minor alterations here and there, and one of the most underappreciated by American directors in the business right now. The guy who made this movie did another film 3 years back called Bronson, which was based on a true story, and that was the movie that gave us Tom Hardy, who we now know from Inception and is going to be in The Dark Knight Rises coming up next summer. Back to Drive. Great director, great script. The cast is phenomenal. I've already talked about Ryan Gosling, who, and this isn't, The Notebook Ryan Gosling or even Crazy Stupid Love Ryan Gosling. This should have been Academy Award nominated for Blue Valentine Ryan Gosling. This is the serious, he brings the heat. He brings the truth. The things that cinema is supposed to give to you. That's that kind of Ryan Gosling that we get in this picture. And not only do we get him, we get a supporting cast which has his back at every moment of the film. And you got Carey Mulligan, who's had her own award buzz in years past. Flawless American accent, good for her, being the Brit that she is. And you got Bryan Cranston, who is obviously, he started out, got his big break on Malcolm in the Middle several years back, and he's been honing his chops on Breaking Bad the past several years, which I know everybody, I love it, you guys love it, I'm sure. And it's that kind of power, that kind of raw energy that he brings to his role as the mechanic in this film. Albert Brooks really impressed me. Here's a guy who's made his entire career pretty much out of playing either himself or characters with very thinly veiled versions of himself. Kind of like Woody Allen has done, where he's been the star and also directed the picture and written it in a lot of cases. And usually in those pictures he's very, I wouldn't say aloof per se, but he's, lighthearted, kind of, oh, I'm a loser, let me just get through life, by the skin of my teeth, do what I can sort of thing. And this, he's just complete 180, other side of him. The moral ground in this film is very shaky, but he is as close to a traditional antagonist as you get with this. He's out for blood, basically. The second that Ryan Gosling's character runs on the wrong side of him, there's a problem. You see it, you feel it, and you're afraid for him, because you know that the fire and brimstone is on its way. Oh yeah, Ron Perlman. I know he's on Sons of Anarchy right now, haven't seen it yet. I hear he's really good. I only know him from Hellboy, which kind of mixed, as far as I know. But it was nice to see him, again, very intense, different kind of thing from what I'm used to. Good to see him without all the makeup, There are certain people who can't act through, layers of makeup and prosthetic caked over them, but anytime that you can prevent that from happening and can just let loose, definitely a good thing. One bad thing I have to say about this movie, though, an hour into it, things get very violent, just out of nowhere. The first hour it's like, oh, okay, everything, it's gonna be a drama, that's pretty much it. It just happens to be a drama about a guy who drives cars. No big deal. An hour into it, things start going down, you don't immediately know why, and it gets violent on and off for the duration of the picture. As far as it goes, I think that's a relatively small complaint to have about this film. Refn proves that he's able to, for the first time, direct a script that he didn't write and have it be pretty much on par with his past work. He's assembled a great cast, and, it's a movie that really draws you in from beginning to end. This is what every action movie needs to aspire to be. This proves that you don't have to have just mindless action going on. You can have well-developed characters that are interwoven, and a story where everything connects. It doesn't have to be wild and crazy, explosions for the sake of explosions.
But are there explosions? That's the question.
Are there explosions? I actually don't think there are explosions in this movie, honestly. Lots of cars driving around really fast. I don't think there's an explosion. Maybe explosions are your thing. Maybe you can't enjoy a movie, that bills itself as being an action movie, even though it is an, art house action movie without explosions. And if that's the case, don't go see it. But if you do go see it, I would recommend you see it big screen, professional theater. The sound system, there are points when I was just jumping out of my seat because you have just huge thuds of gunshots and the score and just it got to me. I've never had that kind of reaction to that sort of thing in the movie before. So I'm gonna give this 4.5. Yeah, that's right. 4.5. Not 5. Almost, though. 4.5 hammer-wielding Ryan Goslings. Remember to give me a big old thumbs up if you like this video, and subscribe to the channel, of course. Oh, and we got some announcements before we talk about next week's movie. I've got a brand new Twitter account and a Facebook fan page. It's twitter.com/CritiCarter and facebook.com/CritiCarter, just because I know social media is the big thing to do now, and it's all going to be down in the description under there. Next week, I'm going to be seeing the new Brad Pitt film Moneyball, another hopefully great film based on a true story. One thing about this picture, about Drive, that is, the main character is just referred to as the driver for the whole time. Not even in the credits does he have a name. So I want you to tell me in the comments for this video, what do you think his name is? See the movie first, obviously, and tell me what you think his name is.
Netflix.com/CritiCarter.
No! You can't. Don't go to Netflix.com/CritiCarter. It's nothing. There's nothing there. I don't even have Netflix. You want to get mad at me for it? Fine. I don't have Netflix. I also haven't seen The Godfather or Terminator. Ooh, confession time. It's crazy. There you go. Fade to black.